Let's talk more about this now with federal defense attorney Ronald Chapman. Ronald, thanks for hopping on such a big day. Let's start with what seems to be an uphill battle to seat an impartial jury. Some additional questions, in addition to what Dre just mentioned off for those potential jurors, include, do you watch or listen to podcasts? If so, which ones? Do you listen to talk radio? If so, which programs? Jurors will also be asked if they've ever considered themselves a supporter or belong to groups like QAnon, the Proud Boys, Antifa. How confident are you that Trump can get a fair shake in a city like Manhattan?
Not very confident at all. My understanding is that jury selection should take about a week. I think it possibly could take a bit longer. With the jury questionnaires that we have and the answers that they will likely give, the difficulty here is that anybody who has any opinion of this case whatsoever will likely be outed in a courtroom, and then there is going to be an epic battle as to whether or not liking Trump or favoring Trump should be a disqualifying factor on the jury. That's really where the battleground will be during this jury selection. And that is probably going to happen for each and every juror. This could take a long time, and it's going to be very difficult to seat a fair and impartial jury.
Yeah, especially when a case like this just reeks of politics. Ronald, the former president's appeals to delay this case have fallen short every time. Does he have any remaining 11th hour Hail Marys up his sleeve?
He does, and this is going to be a constant theme throughout the trial. There will be many mid-trial appeals, objections, arguments raised that will likely be an attempt to draw out an appealable issue that could delay the case. There is also one other big fact is the Supreme Court is going to hear argument on immunity. To the extent that that has any impact on this state case, we don't know, but the justices may speak out on that. That could be another argument for potential delay or appeal.
Ronald, if you were his defense attorney, what would be your strategy for winning?
Well, I think this lives and dies based on jury selection. I think you have to get some people in the box, even just one, who believes that Donald Trump isn't, an evil guy who committed all of these, I believe, 34 counts of fraud. Then you're betting on a hung jury. That's really where I think this decision will rest, a hung jury based on 1, 2, 4 members of the jury who may ultimately not buy the story that this case is a viable case. And
we know there are also, scheduled to be some high-profile witnesses here testifying. Trump's former attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, expected to be a witness. But does his conviction for perjury, for lying to courts as well as Congress about tax evasion, does that create a higher burden for the prosecution to prove their case?
Absolutely. And this happens to my cases all the time. Whenever the prosecution chooses to put somebody like Michael Cohen on the stand, somebody who's lied before, somebody who may have a prior conviction, they're sort of jumping in bed with Michael Cohen. And that doesn't really look good for the prosecution. The fact that they couldn't get other witnesses to corroborate the story other than Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels. We've even heard a bit from Avenatti as well. These witnesses are not going to be the type of witnesses that a prosecutor really wants to put up there in order to put on a credible case. And that is certainly going to impact the jury's view of the facts in this matter. They're simply not believable people.
And we also know Hope Hicks, Trump's former press secretary, who's thought to have been aware of the hush money payment, also reportedly scheduled to testify, I should say. We'll also see if Trump testifies himself and takes the stand for himself. Ronald Chapman, always good to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.